Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today for this week's encouragement session. I want to do something different, as I kind of want to do almost every week. First, I'm your host Brian, and this is the BrianTMurray YouTube channel. Um, so the past week or so, stuff is trending all on the internet about Kwame Brown. And naturally, I don't know what's going on. I'm the type of person, if I don't catch stuff at the jump, I don't know what is going on. I mean, this stuff has spilled over 3 and 4 times over. Just when you think it's about to die, somebody else get involved, someone else get, and all you're doing is just making Kwame Brown more upset. I was preparing to do this video today, and like it's not like he's a no name. It's like 500,000 people watching per video. Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. He has been in the league, I believe, about 13 years. Kwame Brown is not Anthony Bennett. All right, this man has some staying power. What it is that the media has programmed us to hate him. Well, for all those who don't know who Kwame Brown is the #1 overall draft pick, selected #1 by the Washington Wizards under the direction of Michael Jordan. When Michael was in pursuit of purchasing ownership within the Wizards, he also wanted to boost the situation by also becoming a player. So he has pull in the front office, he has pull on the court. Okay, fine. So he desires Kwame Brown. Now, before Jordan said anything about him, I don't think non-analysts knew who he was. It's because that was such a weak draft in 2001 that everybody was like, yo, trade that pick for Elton Brand. Nope. Not going to do that. Also, in that 01 draft, you had players like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Paul Gasol, Shane Battier. I mean, any one of them. I mean, two of I just mentioned are Hall of Famers. This is just so bad. And I don't think Michael Jordan gets enough grief for this. Michael Jordan is responsible for ruining that man's life. It's because even God doesn't do that. When you're not prepared for what's ahead of you, that blessing becomes a curse. Kwame Brown has been cursed by Michael Jordan by making him the #1 overall pick. Kwame Brown has made us feel the worst kind of way about a person. Is because to us outsiders, you have the #1 opportunity in the world to be a great player. But here's the thing, he was still only a kid. He was not the first high school player to fail in the NBA. He will not be the last. But he was the most famous. Why? Because Michael Jordan handpicked him. That's what made it bad. As I was texting back and forth earlier this morning, there are guys like Al Harrington and Jonathan Bender. They didn't have pronounced careers either. But the spotlight wasn't on Indiana the way it was in Washington. And trust me, where I lived at the moment when I watched the draft back in 01, and I was still going through summer school, and I was like, man, I was like, I would love to be in that situation because doing this summer school stuff feels like slavery. No, 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 no. Nobody had any idea what was getting ready to take place. We tried to ruin this man because he was unsuccessful. He was a kid. Think back to when you were 17, 18. Scary, right? Everything you said and did and thought and talked back and all this other stuff. And you have a 40-year-old Michael Jordan, not 25, 40. You have a grumpy old man as the figurehead of the Washington Wizards. And you had the biggest kid in the world being selected by him. The All the Smoke Gilbert Arenas interview, he said Michael Jordan broke him. It was emotionally scarring how Michael Jordan treated Kwame Brown. And on top of it, we all blame Kwame Brown. Why? Because we sure enough what wasn't going to blame Jordan. Here it is 20 years later. 20 years later. 20 years later and 1 month to the day that he was drafted. And I say we got it wrong. That was Michael Jordan's fault. And we need to stop blaming Kwame Brown for being a kid. We need to stop doing that. Now, I'm trying to keep all this in order. The way he has fired back at Charlemagne and Matt Barnes and Three Stacks and Jamel Hill and Stephen A. Smith and Rob Parker and Chris Broussard and everybody who want a piece of Kwame Brown, he has fired back. He has fired back. Not from no pronounced platform, from YouTube. From YouTube. Number one, sidebar. If you want your voice heard, get on YouTube. Stop playing. Stop playing. Don't get crazy, but stop playing. Get on YouTube. Okay? You have everybody know what ESPN is and Fox Sports Radio and all that. We know all that. Okay. But he's driving in his truck doing videos, firing back, and 500,000 people are picking up on it. This is insane. This is where we are in technology. It's like you can finally defend yourself. Finally defend yourself. 10 years ago? 20 years ago? Oh, if somebody on ESPN wanted to come after you, they would do it and be successful. Now everyone has a chance to defend themselves. As long as they don't get kicked off of YouTube, which Kwame Brown did because he said that they did kick him off for a stretch. But he's back on. I mean, he's getting like 40,000 followers like it's nothing. This is insane. This is insane. We have bullied him for 20 years. Stephen A. Smith, I believe, is being professional, but still has bullied him for 20 years. Was Kwame Brown the number one scrub? The ultimate bust? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the perception was the world was handed to you. The Bible teaches much is given, much is required. Much is given, much is required. Much was given to him, much was required from him. And he was not a professional. He was a kid. That's fine. That happens. But when you're the number one overall draft pick, Kwame Brown was so bad. When the thought that Cleveland wanted to draft LeBron James, I said, don't do it. Please, no. That's how much the bad taste in our mouths was about drafting high school players. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it has gotten. I thought Carmelo Anthony should have been the #1 overall pick. I just have a thing with players who achieve in college should be #1 overall. But you know, Cleveland got it right. Cleveland got it right. Cleveland won a championship through LeBron. Denver did not through Carmelo or through New York. Kwame Brown's responses back are egregious. However, he has a right to defend himself. I get angry all the time. Y'all know on these videos I vent, but I don't cross the line. I don't call people out their names and use profanity and all that. We're dealing with a 39-year-old man now. See, you got used to punking a 17, 18-year-old. Now he's almost 40 and he's firing back and calling people out by name. It's tough. It's tough. I spent the whole morning following this, catching up on it, because I didn't want to do it. But when it's like this, you can't ignore this. You cannot ignore. All of those who have ever been bullied have a level of empathy for Kwame Brown. No, he wasn't teased by fans. You had whole media outlets bashing him because he failed as the #1 draft pick. And because we love Jordan so much. Nah. Now that I'm 43 and I watched this while living in DC from day one, here we are 20 years later and I'm like, nah. In hindsight, this was not right. This was not right. Not that he shouldn't have gone #1. There's at least 5 players I would have picked over him. Trade the pick for next year. Whatever you had to do. Kwame Brown was at best a role player. And this is what the NBA and NFL, but specifically the NBA does. They draft these teenagers, these kids, to be saviors of franchises. But if and when they fail, the franchise tried to destroy them by letting them know, you failed us. You failed us. He's 17 years old. You are a multi-billion-dollar owner/franchise. You're blaming him for you? No, you was failing before him. You was failing before he was even born. Now you're trying to blame him for not meeting your expectations? Because all what's happening is you're trying to control him. You are trying to control him. That's what that is. That's what institutions do. You try to control people. And when they don't meet your expectations, this man been in the league for 13 years. If he was such a bust, he would have been out of the league in 13 games or 3 seasons. This man became who he really was, and we need to acknowledge that and appreciate that in him. He played on more teams than he played for teams I forgot he played for. Golden State, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Detroit. All I remember was the Wizards and the Lakers. That's Jordan and Kobe. That's all I remember. This man stuck it out. Why do we blame people who are consistent? Oh, Kwame Brown. It doesn't matter what team he's on. Every time the name Kwame Brown came out, oh, Kwame Brown. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? If I was to say Anthony Bennett's name, the majority of y'all don't even know who he is. Cleveland selected him #1 overall. He did not catch 10% of the grief that Kwame Brown caught. Because as I said about Al Harrington, who was a decent player, Bender, decent player, but these were kids. They were role players. We put our hopes in Kwame Brown, and he failed us, and we're trying to blame him and torture him for it. What is this? This is an effeminate quality, because this is what we do to our fathers. Oh, you wasn't there for me, son. You don't even understand what was really going on, because we judge people through the eyes of the inner child inside of us. This is how we judge people. Which, number one, it shows we need therapy. I told my father at dinner last week. I said, whatever you have done wrong in your life, I almost don't care. I almost don't care. The Lord has given me one biological father, and I'm trying to do everything that I can to make this right. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. We have a society that destroys black men like it's nothing. If they're not in handcuffs, we destroy them with our words. The moment they don't fulfill our expectations, and it's satanic. We need to stop. We need to stop. Kwame Brown, though this is sports, this is entertainment, he did not fulfill our expectation, and we tortured him for 20 years for it. Charlemagne got in on it. I believe that Kwame is from Georgia, the South Carolina areas, as Charlemagne is. They got into it. Media does what the media does. Once the media put a target on you, in their minds, they got you. They are going to say what it is they need to say, and then it is what it is. Kwame Brown was like, what? Charlemagne? Hey, I got Wi-Fi down here too. I can dig up your past. And Kwame Brown did. Look, not pretty. Not pretty. Because Kwame Brown is digging up people's pasts. Why? Because you keep messing with him. If he's nobody to you, leave him alone. You can't tell him he's nothing and then mess with him. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. We need to stop it. That is not right. I was never Kwame Brown. Please, I repented this morning over this because I fed into it too. But after seeing this man, this 39-year-old man, defend himself, I was like, yeah. Why? Because I'm 43 and there has been numerous times I had to defend myself. All those who have learned to defend themselves, you can empathize with Kwame Brown. It's like, hey, okay, let's take another look at this. Here it is, 2021. It's not 2001 anymore. It's 2021. Let's take a look at this. Some of the things he's saying is egregious, but you have triggered him. You have messed with this man for 20 years. You have made fun of this man for 20 years. Now he is defending himself. Now you're calling him bad. Now you're calling him hostile. No. He has every right to defend himself. As bad as it sounds, he has that right. He has that right. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is insane. The headline said Jemele Hill stumbled into the beef with her. Yeah, she stumbled into it. From what I understand, she stumbled into it. You don't leave Kwame Brown alone. Leave him alone. He will go away if you leave him alone. But if you keep messing with him, he will not. He will not go away. I was thinking, I was like, do Kwame Brown have a championship ring? If he had a championship ring, that would have been the first thing that he said. Because we worship champions. Yeah. Kwame Brown is in his bed, in his truck, in his living room, in his Hobby Lobby t-shirt. He is in his bed clothes, grilling national personalities with 500,000 people trending, following him. This is crazy. Is he a bum? Yes. He's a bum to be the #1 overall. Is he a bum if he was the 15th pick? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As Skip Bayless pointed out, this man averaged 13 points in his career. Jordan averaged 13 points his rookie year. Figure that out. So you have to identify. Some of this is the hate that you have been cultured to hate on black men. Because the hate you have towards Kwame Brown is not even fair. It doesn't even make sense. Steven Jackson, he has a right to defend himself. I admit I did not want to take the time to watch the Jenny Buss interview. That's what started all of this. Steven Jackson said what he said, and that triggered Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown got some smoke too. Kwame Brown got some smoke too now. So I need everybody to chill out. Matt Barnes, he was responsible. He went on social media. He said, "Hey, all the smoke is coming to Atlanta. You live in Georgia, Kwame. We will come to you. Let's hash this out." But Matt Barnes took it further. He said, "Hey, before or after, even during the show, we need to hash this out." Because Kwame Brown brought up Matt Barnes' past too. He brought up Steven Jackson past too. Not pretty. We all know that. But we have learned to be protective of Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Why? It's because Matt Barnes, we got a little bit of Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson in all of us. I like when they interviewed Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders said, "By looking at our past, I feel like I should know y'all." And that's how it is. You may not be shooting off guns, but we all have done dumb things. Dumb things. So who are you to cast the first stone? Y'all, you need Charlemagne's attorney sent Kwame Brown a cease and desist order, telling him stop calling him a rapist from a prior situation years ago. Charlemagne had to plead to a lesser charge. That's fine, whatever. I wasn't there. I'm not getting into that. But you bring up Kwame Brown's past, he's going to bring up yours. Ain't no different from what LeBron James did to Charles Barkley. LeBron James wasn't even born for half the stuff Charles Barkley did. But he started bringing up his past. Now, when I saw that, I was like, LeBron James looked kind of petty. But here's the bottom line. You have the right to defend yourself. Kwame Brown is 6'11", very monotone as a kid. He's talkative now, boy. He is lighting Negroes up these days. He don't care who you are. He don't care who you are. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Leave that man alone. Let's all go back to how things was before this. But in a way, I'm grateful for this. Is because this is the encouragement session. The way you feel about something 20 years ago, you can have a total 180-degree feeling about it 20 years later. You have got to be open to that. You have got to be open to that. Why? Because all you got to do is keep living life. I have lived my life and is living it. And the way I thought and talked about Kwame Brown when he was a teenager, as I was going into my 5th year in college, I was like, nah, that wasn't right. Just like everyone who's watching this video who has ever bullied anybody, how badly you feel about it as you're a grown adult. And now, lo and behold, your children are being bullied. And now you feel a really different way about it. Yeah. So, I would like them to talk it all out, be calm, be cool. I would like Kwame Brown to stop cussing at everybody. That would be nice. Please, Mr. Kwame Brown, stop cussing at everybody. But yeah, this really, Greg Oden didn't go through nothing like what Kwame Brown went through. Greg Oden, Eddie Carey, none of them went through not even 10% of what Kwame Brown went through. It's like we tortured Kwame Brown for not being our Lord and Savior because Michael Jordan handpicked him. This time 2 years ago, LeBron James said he regretted giving his oldest son his namesake because all the pressure that comes along with it. We're trying to tell you something. We're trying to tell you something. Y'all, let's be nice to each other. Let's be nice to each other. This has gotten crazy. This is something that I could not ignore even though I wanted to. Because once I saw it was a lot of bashing going back and forth. I was like, I can't get into that. But once I saw a half dozen people, A-list celebrities got into it, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I gotta get into this. I have got to get into this. So yeah, I'm happy to see that Kwame Brown is still in shape. I mean, that is amazing. I'm glad to see he is still in shape because you thought he wasn't. Nah. The video he shot when he had his fedora hat on, his shades, and his button-down dress shirt, his midsection was tiny, y'all. It's like, nah, man, he doing something right now. Come on now. He doing something right. So, yeah, y'all, let's be cool. He talked about the bullying that Charles Oakley did to the younger Wizards at the time. Oh my! Look, man, 2001 was a rough year. Stuff happened in 01 that we still don't talk about. And 20 years later, people are picking up on, wait, what happened? Yeah. This is crazy. Man. So, I'm going to end this video here, y'all. But y'all, let's all be cool. Okay? Let's be cool. All right. God bless. Bye.